Hello students, how are you all? Are you all safe? Okay, stay at home. Now, yesterday what did we see? Yes, digestive system. In that very important part, we have to take care of our mouth. Every day after eating food also we must brush our teeth. Why? Otherwise there is a chance the bacteria which is present inside our mouth stick on to the food particle which is attached to the tooth and form a cushion like structure and change the food into an acid and corrode enamel and other part, so it create a cavity and create pain. At last we have to remove the tooth. If we want to avoid this, every time after taking food we must brush our teeth. Okay, this year in the board paper one question came related to small intestine. Small intestine is little bit longer than um, her flesh eating people. In herbivores or in vegetarian, the small intestine is little bit longer than non-vegetarian people. Why? What is the reason? Because vegetarians are eating only vegetables. Vegetables are rich in what? Cellulose. So for digestion of cellulose, the cellulase enzyme is needed. It takes long time for digestion also. Because of that, small intestine is longer in herbivores or vegetarians than non-vegetarian people. Very important. Okay. Now from this image itself you can understand what part today we are going to discuss. What? Respiration. Yes. What is respiration? Respiration is nothing but the taking oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. In addition to that, the inhaled oxygen is used for breakdown of food or burning of food to release energy. Respiration and breathing. What is respiration? It is a catabolic process which involves the burning of food within the tissue to produce energy in the form of ATP. I think you know what is ATP. ATP is what? Adenosine triphosphate. It is the energy currency of the cell. Breathing. Breathing is just intake of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide. Here no enzymes are required. Distinguish between respiration and breathing. Respiration. Respiration is a process in which breakdown of food and release of energy along with carbon dioxide and water. Breathing is intake of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide. Respiration is intracellular process. Breathing is an extracellular. In respiration, energy is released in the form of ATP. Breathing, no energy is released. In respiration, enzymes are involved. In breathing, no enzymes are involved. Then in respiration, respiration is a common process in all animals, but breathing varies in different animals. Types of respiration. Mainly there are two types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. From the name itself you can say aerobic means in the presence of oxygen respiration takes place. Okay, what are the steps? First, uptake of oxygen by the tissues, then oxidation of food inside the cell by enzymes, then elimination of carbon dioxide from the tissues. Anaerobic respiration. Respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. So breakdown of food in the absence of oxygen and energy is released. This type of animals are called anaerobes. During this process, ethyl alcohol is an end product in yeast or plants. Lactic acid is an end product in muscle cells of animals. ATP. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Already we saw it is the energy currency of the cell. ATP molecule is formed from ADP plus inorganic phosphate. What is ADP? Adenosine diphosphate plus inorganic phosphate gives ATP. ATP can be used in the cells for many process or many activities. For example, contraction of muscles, protein synthesis, conduction of nerve impulses, and many other activities. Yes, this flowchart shows the breakdown of glucose by various pathway. Very important one. Every year in the question paper it used to come for 3 marks. Okay, first glucose. Glucose, 6 carbon molecule. It broken down in cytoplasm to release 3 carbon molecule compound pyruvate and energy. The energy amount is less. Again this pyruvate undergoes breakdown. If it takes place in yeast, in the absence of oxygen, then end products are ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. If it takes place in our muscle cell, lack of oxygen, then lactic acid and energy. Lactic acid accumulation only leads to muscle cramps. Mostly it takes place in the leg muscles only. Then presence of oxygen in mitochondria means the pyruvate broken down to release carbon dioxide, water and energy. Very important flowchart. Study from the text. Yes, distinguish between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Already you know aerobic respiration means in the presence of oxygen, anaerobic in the absence of oxygen it takes place. In aerobic respiration, end products are carbon dioxide and water. In anaerobic respiration, ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. In aerobic respiration, one glucose molecule release 38 ATP molecules, but in anaerobic, one glucose release only 2 ATP molecules. Then aerobic respiration takes place in majority of the organisms. Anaerobic takes place in few organisms like fungi and bacteria, low level organisms. Then aerobic respiration takes place in cytoplasm with the help of glycolysis or with the help of Krebs cycle in mitochondria. But anaerobic respiration takes place in cytoplasm. Then aerobic respiration, food is completely oxidized, but in anaerobic respiration food is incompletely oxidized. Then aerobic respiration, the end products are non-toxic because carbon dioxide, water, energy, more energy is released. But in anaerobic, less energy, the end products are in the form of ethyl alcohol or lactic acid, so they are toxic. Respiration in plants. In plants, mostly exchange of gases takes place through stomata. Already you know stomata present in leaves and stems. But in woody stems and older roots, lenticels are found. It helps for the exchange of gases O2 and CO2. Respiration in plants different from animals in three respects. What are they? All parts of the plant like root, stem, leaf perform respiration individually. Then there is little transport of gases from one part to other part of the plant. Then the rate of respiration is slow in plants compared to animals. Exchange of gases in roots and stems. Root hair take up oxygen from the soil by diffusion process because they are in contact with the soil. So from soil oxygen is taken by root hair and gives out what? CO2 to the soil. In woody plants, the bark region has lenticels. That lenticels are helpful for the gaseous exchange. Then other part of the stem and the leaves, the stomata is helpful for the exchange of gases. Yes, you can see that in this diagram. Exchange of gases in root hair. From the soil they are taking oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. Then in woody stem, the lenticels are helpful for the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases in leaves. Mostly in leaves, stomata only because it is present on the surface. So O2 is entering during respiration and CO2 is coming out. During photosynthesis, CO2 is coming inside and O2 is coming out by the process of diffusion. Yes, respiration in animals. In aquatic animals, for example, like fish, prawn, mussels, they have gills for respiration. They used to take oxygen in a dissolved form. If we are taking out the fish, immediately die because they cannot take oxygen from air. So they can use only dissolved oxygen from water and give out CO2 from their body. Land animals like lizard, bird, human beings respire through lungs. So they are taking oxygen from air. Then earthworm, they can take through their moist skin. Then frog, mostly frog use their skin and lungs. Sometimes their buccal cavity is also used. So in frog, buccal respiration, cutaneous respiration and pulmonary respiration. Cutaneous means through their skin. Pulmonary means through their lungs. Buccal means through their mouth because they are amphibious. So they can live both on land and in water. So all these respiration is possible. Insects, they have a small hole or air tubes or spiracles. Through that they can respire. Yes, you can see this diagram. Fish, they have more gills, more times of water uh, pass over the gills. Why? Because from water only they can take oxygen. The rate of breathing in aquatic organism is much faster than terrestrial organism because the amount of dissolved oxygen is very, very low as compared to the amount of oxygen in the air. Now we can see respiratory system in human being. Yes, we can usually respire through what? Nostrils. Then nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi and bronchioles, alveoli and lungs, then diaphragm and intercostal muscles. All these are respiratory organs in human beings. We can see it in detail. Nostril. There are two nasal openings which have mucus to remove the dust particles from air. You know, inside the nose, hair and mucus. For what purpose? To trap the dust particles from air. It is warm to kill bacteria. We have to inhale through the nose or nostrils because of this reason only. Then nasopharynx. It is the junction between the oral, that is mouth, and nasal cavity. It is guarded by epiglottis. For what purpose? When we are taking food, the food should not enter into it. For that, the epiglottis is a muscular layer covers, but air alone can enter inside. Then larynx, you know very well, it is a voice box which is responsible to prevent the entry of food material in the trachea or windpipe. In male, Adam's apple is present, which is protruding cartilage of voice box. Then next part is trachea, 4-inch long and extend from larynx to the fifth thoracic vertebra. It is composed of 16 to 20 incomplete rings. You know very well, Reynolds pen, there is a lead or ballpoint pen, there is a lead that is externally covered by a spring. Why? If there is no spring, we may not be able to write straightly with the Reynolds. This spring only prevent the collapsing of the lead. The same way in our thoracic area, the rings are present. It prevent the collapsing of trachea. When the air enter inside with more pressure, there is a chance to collapse. But the rings only prevent the collapsing. Bronchi and bronchioles. Bronchi are formed by bilateral bifurcation of trachea, then right and left. Then further the bronchi divided into bronchioles which ends in alveoli. Alveoli is a air sac richly supplied with blood vessels for the exchange of gases, it is helpful. Then lungs. There are two spongy elastic organs formed of alveoli, bronchioles, blood vessels. The right lung has 3 lobes and the left lung has 2 lobes. It is covered by a double membrane known as pleura. It gives protection to our lungs. Then next to that, diaphragm. Diaphragm is a muscular structure, dome-shaped sheath of muscles which separates the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. Then intercostal muscles. These are two series of muscles situated in between the ribs. Yes, in this diagram you can see the respiratory system. First nostrils, nasopharynx, then larynx, then trachea, divided into bronchi, bronchioles, ends in alveoli. All these are found inside the lungs. Then below the lungs we can see the diaphragm, that is alveoli. Mechanism of breathing. It includes inspiration and expiration. Inspiration is nothing but inhalation. Inhalation means intake of oxygen. How does it take place? When we breathe in, our ribs are moving upward, the diaphragm is flattened. Due to this, the thoracic cavity size increases, therefore the pressure decreases inside the lungs compared to atmospheric pressure. Therefore, the air from atmosphere rushes into the lungs through nostrils, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli and reaches the lungs. Because of this, what would happen after some time? The pressure inside the lungs increases, then expiration occurs. Expiration is nothing but exhalation. It is the reverse of inspiration. It involves ribs and diaphragm also. How? At this time, the ribs comes back to original. The diaphragm also comes back to original position. Therefore, the thoracic cavity size decreases. The pressure increases than atmospheric pressure. Therefore, from inside the lungs, the air rushes to outside. Yes, this image shows inhale and exhale process very clearly. Whenever high pressure is there, then from that area air flow to the low pressure area. During inhalation, actually the pressure inside the lungs is less, atmospheric pressure is more, therefore inhalation takes place. Because of that, what would happen? The abdomen expands. Due to what? First, the diaphragm contracts and moves down. The rib cage elevates or comes upward. Lungs expand. Therefore, the pressure decreases inside. Atmospheric pressure is more, so inhalation takes place. During exhalation, what would happen? The inside pressure is more, therefore abdomen returns to the original position. The lungs pressure more, therefore it pushes the air from lungs to outside. Exchange of gases in tissues. In the tissues, oxygen gets used up and carbon dioxide is released. The blood which brings oxygen from lungs carries to the tissue as higher concentration of oxygen but low concentration of CO2. Due to the difference in concentration, the gases get exchanged between tissues and the blood capillaries. Within the lungs, the passage divides into smaller tubes which finally terminate in balloon-like structure which are called alveoli. It would cover about 80 meters square. The walls of the alveoli contain an extensive network of blood vessels. The alveoli provide maximum surface area for the exchange of gases. Very important part this is Maximum surface area for the exchange of gases provided by alveoli. Carbon dioxide is transported in dissolved form. Hmm. Yes, with this, the respiration part is over. We can see transportation and excretion in the next part.